Hello, this is Inmate Options LLC. This video is about Charles Bounds, federal number 54107-177. You can Google BOP inmate locator and look him up by his name or number. We ask that everyone who is willing or able will reach out and see what they could do to help him. Charles was a struggling addict. He was homeless. He was sleeping couch to couch. He was sentenced to 360 months and convicted of being involved in a drug conspiracy. Charles was not the person that he was portrayed to be. We are asking for your help in getting him a reduction in his time. There is a petition in the description of the video. If you click the little arrow that points downward, you will see the petition to sign for him. Please share the video. Please subscribe to the channel. If you know anybody else in a similar situation or any of the situations listed in the description, please reach out to us. Thank you all for your help, and God bless.
From
Ben Bounds.
an inmate at a federal prison. This call is being recorded and is subject to monitoring. Hang up to decline the call or to accept. Dial 5 now. If you wish to block any future calls of this nature,
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you doing today?
Good. I just want to let you know that we are recording this for your video.
Okay.
Could I get some background information from you? What is your full name?
Charles Bounds.
And what is your register number?
It's 54107-177.
And the mailing address for the facility that you're in?
The mailing box is P.O. Box 3000, medium, at Forrest City, Arkansas, 72336.
Okay, and do you have any children?
Yes, sir. I have one 8-year-old son.
That's great. When you take yourself back to being a young person, did you have any dreams or goals, aspirations, things that you wanted to accomplish?
I mean, yeah, I wanted to be something other than a federal prisoner. I know that, you know. I dropped out of school young and went and started working because my family needed the help.
Absolutely.
And I was in and out of trouble anyway as a kid, getting in trouble at school and whatnot. But I was really just trying to help my family out.
Where do you feel like things went wrong for you?
When my mother passed away, I was 27 and about to be 28. And when I lost my mom, that's when I started using drugs. And I had never been in any trouble until my mom passed away. I had never been. I had one speeding ticket up until that point. When I was 27 years old. And by the time I turned 31, I was sentenced to 30 years in federal prison for ghost dope.
Oh, that's awful. That is awful. So can you take us to this conspiracy? Could you tell us what happened and how you got involved in it?
I guess it started, according to the indictment started in 2014. And at the time I was homeless, living on couches and roaming the streets at night, and I had a bad drug problem. I was addicted. I was strung out shooting meth, and I was always just trying to find somewhere to go. Well, I guess, I don't even know how it started, to be honest with you. But they started rounding people up, and I ended up getting arrested, and I was arrested on another charge in Tarrant County. That picked me up, and like I said,
this call is from a federal prison.
I was living from couch to couch, and my girlfriend at the time bonded me out, and when she bonded me out, they put a hold on me, and then the marshals came and picked me up.
Wow.
But other than that, I didn't even know probably 90% of the people that were on this case. When I went to trial, they said that all these dudes were my co-conspirators and that we conspired to sell methamphetamine all the way across North Texas, and I didn't even know these guys. was when we all decided we were going to trial, and they stuck us all together and said that we were co-conspirators.
So, was there a conversation with your attorney about the amount of time you were facing and like some sort of fight that was going to be put up as far as you not knowing these people?
No, he told me that, because I told him from the day that I got arraigned that the marshals came pick me up that I wanted to go to trial because nothing that they could have possibly have against me was true because I wasn't a drug dealer. And he said, yeah, you're probably right about that. So from day one, April 11th, 2016, I said, we're going to trial. Well, I have no criminal history, I've never been in prison before, and I've never had any drug convictions. So my assumption was that I would get, between 10 and 15 years. And that was never changed until almost the time it was time to go to trial. And my lawyer said, well, they're offering you a 20-year cap and your 3 points of acceptance, but knowing McBride, he's going to max you out and give you 20 years, but you won't have any appealability. So I said, well, what's the point? We might as well just go to trial. He never once said anything to me about, oh, well, they're going to hit you with all these enhancements because you're going to trial, and they're going to max you out even more because you went to trial and you wasted the court's money and time. That was never said to me.
Wow.
So I had no idea. Like I said, this was my first time in trouble, so I had no idea what the federal system was really about, And I didn't talk to anybody, any of the other inmates that were at the jail with me because everybody was telling on each other, and I didn't know who would try to tell on me because, lo and behold, when I got to court, a guy that I was locked up with that I met in jail said that he sold me drugs on the street, but I met him in jail.
Wow.
And they put him on the stand against me.
Had you heard of McBride prior to you going to court or getting sentenced?
No, not prior to going to court, but once I was found out that I was in his courtroom, everybody said, that's Hang'em High McBride, and he's one of the worst. He's one of the worst judges in the United States, sentencing wise.
So take us back to sentencing. What was that like? Who was there? What was your reaction to the sentence?
It was horrible. I mean, I'm standing before a man who's really got control of the rest of my life, and he read the few things that I've been arrested for. Again, none of which were for drugs, and I was never arrested with any drugs. But he said, well, I feel like a term of 30 years is, well, he said, I feel like a term of 360 months is sufficient. Your criminal history isn't that bad, but it's still pretty bad. And mind you, up until now, the longest I'd ever been in jail was 45 days in county. And for state jail felony, And when he said that, I mean, like I said, at the time my little boy was 4 years old. And, immediately what popped in my mind is he's going to be my age when I get out of here.
That's awful.
So that's how the rest of his life is going to be viewed from me, is through pictures and visitation, and that was the first thing that popped in my mind, was that my son's going to be my age when I get out of here,
Yeah, that's absolutely awful. We've talked to a lot of people out of that district, and there's a common theme of people saying that there's not only people on their indictment that they don't know, or people that are accusing them of drug amounts that weren't real or exaggerated, but there was also people that they did know that they didn't have any involvement with. So your story is definitely not uncommon. That is a common thing out of that area. What has it been like since sentencing for you? Your family, visitation, what have you been up to better yourself?
Well, my sister is a trooper. She comes and sees me, if I need something, she's my go-to.
This call is from a federal prison.
She's the only family I've got out there aside from my son and his mother, but my son's mother has to take care of him, so that's financial support is not coming from her, it's coming from my sister.
Yeah.
But my sister comes and sees me, whenever she can. she can't get up here because of work very much, but she does try to come up here. With all this stuff that's going on now, they've just shut down visitation completely. But I mean, it's just, once I got here, I immediately went and got my Jeep. I've been working at Unicor, and I'm a QA over at Unicor over panel management. So, I mean, that's pretty much what I've been doing since I got here.
And I just like to express to you what this is about. The purpose of this video is not only to share your story along with some of the others that are coming out of that district, but we want to show the community that there is a real problem here out of that district, and we're asking for people to get involved. There's going to be a petition in the description of the video asking people to help bring awareness to your situation and ask the president for some sort of relief or reduction in your time. To the people that we're asking to help you, what do you have to say to them about why this sentence is harsh, what you would do with a second chance, and what it would mean to you?
I would just want to start by saying, that I would like to enlighten people of the situation and the systematic miscarriage of justice of the people by public officials. When I was arrested, like I said before, I didn't know hardly any of the people that they said that were my co-conspirators. And they just bundled us all together and said that we were drug lords. You know what I mean? And me personally, I don't know everybody's story, but me personally, I had a drug problem. I was homeless, and I wasn't any of the stuff that any of these people said that I was. I also would like to, I can't bring it up enough that, I'm not one of these guys that's been arrested 1,000 times for, all these different small and drug crimes and whatnot. I've been arrested 3 times in my life, or 4 times now, but at the time I'd only been arrested 3 times, and had 1 felony on my record. And the judge, thought a 30-year sentence for a first time offender was appropriate. I don't see anywhere where why that's how that's even fair. Because I went to trial, I'm still fighting my case. So I've tried many times to get these proper statements that were made outside of court against me, and there's no audio recording or video of anything. It's just what the case agents said is what the judge took as truth, and what the AUSA used in court as to be truth. But there's nothing to back it up. It's their word. It's their word that everybody has to take. And I mean, I've got transcripts of people who said that they lied on the stand, told the judge, told McBride in his courtroom that they lied about their proffer statements. And me personally, I was still sentenced as if they had told the God's truth, and they had never said that. They said under oath in court that what they said was false, and I was still punished for their false statements. And with everything that's going on right now, especially with the COVID-19, you never know what's going to happen in here. We're crammed in this box together, and we live amongst each other, and there's nowhere for us to go. They talk about social distancing and all this stuff. It's physically impossible to social distance in jail. I mean, it's physically impossible. We're crammed in an 8x10 cell and told to social distance. It's physically impossible. If I had a chance to get out of here, and if anything was to ever come of my sentence where I got less time, I want to be able to get out there and be with my family again, and make up. I mean, you can't really get back the time that you've lost, but try to make up for what you've lost, and get to know my son outside his prison walls. Because as it stands right now, the only way I'm going to get to know him is in prison. And for somebody that never got caught with any drugs and was said to be some kind of a kingpin, that's not fair. It's not right.
This call is from a federal prison.
I wasn't arrested with hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, I couldn't even get a lawyer to help fight my case. I had to get a court-appointed attorney. You know, if I was all the stuff that they said I was, then I would have hundreds of thousands of dollars to fight my case. That wasn't the case at all. You know, I had to use a public defender who really sold me down the river. Feds have a 98% conviction rate, and there's a reason for that. You know, because you can't fight them. It's, you know, when you look at an indictment, it says United States versus. I mean, you're fighting the whole United States when you get picked up by the government. You know, that's a losing battle. Any way you go, it doesn't matter if you're innocent or not. And I mean, I can't stress enough that, you know, the stuff that they've done to us and the way that they've taken us away from our families. I mean, there's nothing right about it at all. You know, I'm the 4 years that I've been locked up, I've met guys from other parts of the country that, you know, have been arrested 10 times more than me and got caught with drugs and got a third of the time that I've got, you know. And how is that fair? You know, you can pull up my exact same case in another district and a dude has half the time that I've got and been arrested 5 or 6 more times than I have been. You know, how is that fair? It's not.
This call is from a federal prison.
It's not equal justice. It's one-sided. You know, it's whatever the judge wants to do. I'd want to, you know, give back and help. You know, because like me personally, I had a drug problem, and I know what it's like to have a drug problem. I thank God I don't anymore, but I did at the time. You know, and I would like to help people that were in the same position that I was, homeless and with drug issues, you know, and that's what I would want to do, you know.
Absolutely. I appreciate your time and you being honest and telling us about all these things. I know it's got to be difficult, especially with the COVID situation. I can't imagine how tough that's got to be. Is there anything you want to add before we end the video?
No, I just want to thank y'all, really. I mean, because it's, you know, people don't, you know, when we come to prison, people tend to forget, you know, and it's nice to know that somebody's out there really trying to do something, because there isn't enough light shown on this stuff. You know, it really is a miscarriage of justice, and I appreciate everything that y'all are doing.
Absolutely. We want to thank you for watching the video, listening to it, but with knowledge comes responsibility. Now that you know this man's struggle and you know that he's not alone, there's others in the other videos. Not only sign the petition, but please share the video. Please ask your friends and others to share the video and hear from him, and ask them to sign the petition. And God willingly, we will make an impact to the point where these people will get some relief. We just thank everybody that subscribes, everybody that gets involved. We really appreciate the effort and time that you've taken to help these people. Thank you, and God bless.